This video is for people that really want to move to Ghana and make it sustainable, make it permanent, make it long term. As somebody who has managed to live in Ghana for 3 whole years, or nearly 3 whole years, it's going to be 3 years in 2 months. This is what I have to share with you about the things that I feel like I did to make this move sustainable. If you're wondering where I am, I'm currently on holiday in Kangaroo Valley in Australia. There's a previous video where I showcase details of the place and what it looks like and all that. I'll link it in the description box below so you guys can check it out if you're interested. But anyway, let's get right into it. So the first point I would make is Ghana will never be a band-aid to all your problems. What I mean by that is, if you're struggling emotionally or you have some ongoing difficulties that are not necessarily physical and they're more to do with your mental health and stuff like that overseas, you need to get to a place where you kind of feel at peace. You feel like, oh, I'm okay being here because I have the tools to survive, but I can be better in Ghana. If it's a very hasty decision where it's like, this place sucks, it's so terrible and I don't want to live here anymore, so I'm moving to Ghana, a lot of the time it's an emotional decision, and so a lot of planning hasn't gone into it, and generally it's not very sustainable. Some people make it work, but generally speaking, it's not sustainable. Whatever it is you're going through, make sure you get to a place where you're like, okay, even if I had to stay in America or I had to stay in Australia or wherever it is, I'll be okay. But I know in Ghana I can do so much better. And that's the reason why you're going. You're not going because you're running away from some difficult emotional problems that you're having wherever you are. Because then you don't really take your time to plan because you're making an emotional decision. And you will probably end up back where you came from. Or you go to Ghana and then start experiencing the same emotional issues because it's still there. Changing environment is not going to make a difference, which makes it worse because you feel like, what other option do I have? Because I've moved from one country to the other and I'm still going through the same thing. Make sure you're making the move because you feel like it's a better option for you and your family or whoever it is you're coming with. My next most important point is, let your decision to come to Ghana be a thing where it's like, this is what I'm doing and that's it. It's not like I'm coming to test the waters. I am going into the deep end and I am swimming, sink or swim. That is the attitude you need to come with. If you come like, oh, I'm just going to put my toes in and see if it's warm or cold, generally speaking, you might end up back where you came from. If you really want to make it sustainable, make sure you've made up your mind that this is what you want and you're going to make it work no matter what. You know, I had no sun for ages. It's been raining like crazy and all of a sudden it's crazy sunny just when I've decided to sit outside and have a chat with you guys. But anyway, you're either going all out or you're not doing it. Because when you think about it like, oh, I'm going to go see what happens and whatnot, a lot of the time when things get hard, it can be a little more hard for you to push to do better or to make it work because you know you can just leave and return to this other place that you've come from. You have to be determined to make it work. And my next point is, establish a source of income before you move to Ghana. A lot of people make the mistake of coming to Ghana with savings and saying they're going to start a business. Obviously, it takes time for business to pick up, right? So if you come with savings and you don't have any income coming in and you're using part of your savings to start this business, if there's no income coming in for the first year or two, which is typical for a lot of businesses, what are you going to do? And this is why I encourage a lot of people to do something online. I think online is a great way to start because you can stay wherever, can be wherever you are and still be able to work because your work is online. If you want to do something that's a service-based business, then you need to take time out, come to Ghana, set it up, see how it's running, see what kind of customers are there, see if the idea you've brought meets the needs of the people in Ghana, see if it's a viable business. Do all that before you officially move. Make sure you're making a little bit of money before you move. that would also help to make your move sustainable. Because if you come with your savings and then you start your business and you're not making money, then you start spending your savings and then next minute you have no money to survive. And making money in Ghana is not easy. Like, it's incredibly hard. There's so much opportunity to make money, but it takes a while to figure it out, you know. And I must also make a point that I don't have any experience with moving to Ghana with little kids or as a family or something like that, because I moved on my own. So I'm speaking for people that are on their own or people that have kids that are independent. But if you have kids that are dependent, obviously how the kids feel about you moving to Ghana, the schools they're going to go to, the lifestyle in Ghana, whether that's going to be suitable for them, all that needs to be taken into consideration. So I can't speak for those people because I have no experience in that area. Another thing I think that has made a significant difference in me being able to live in Ghana this long is I look at Ghana as Ghana and I look at the West as the West. You know, I think when I'm overseas, the lifestyle I live is very different to the lifestyle I live when I'm in Ghana. Over here, there's a lot of things that are available as well as accessible. Right? In Ghana, there's a lot of things that are available but not necessarily accessible. Do you get what I mean? Over in the West, there's so many places you could go to that are super pricey, but you don't even have to be a millionaire to go there. You know, being here, people have access to different things no matter what their socio-economic background is. You know, I mean, there's still a level of inequality and stuff, but you know, in comparison to Ghana is quite significant. So even though I'm here and I'm on holiday and I'm in this fancy retreat where it's all pretty and stuff like that, they say I wouldn't pay $500 to stay in a place in Ghana unless I was coming on holiday. Ghana, I try to live like a local, you know what I mean, to some extent anyway. I can never fully live like a local because I've come from overseas and I have a lot of privilege. I do my best to live well below my means. Like, I think the main purpose of moving to Ghana is to have a change in lifestyle, a change in scenery, to do different things. If you live well below your means and you try to live like a local when you're in Ghana and you try not to live like you're still in the West in Ghana, you're going to save so much more, because I think to live like you're in the West in Ghana is very, very expensive, even though it's so accessible over here in, you know, Australia and all the other Western countries. Yeah. The final thing I have to say is you have to be ready to go all out. Once you're in Ghana, there are challenges that will come up for you. It's not going to be easy, you know. If you were not running a business in the West, you don't move to Ghana and automatically you know how to run a business. If you were not like a social person overseas, you don't move to Ghana and all of a sudden you're a social person. If you didn't have a lot of friends overseas, you don't move to Ghana and all of a sudden you have a lot of friends. If you have never lived in a new country, or if you've never experienced life on your own and you've moved to Ghana to experience life on your own, obviously it's going to be a different experience, and every new experience comes with challenges. So you have to be ready to take on all those challenges. You have to be ready to just go all out, do your best, pray about it, keep planning, keep changing your plan, it's like you've made up your mind that you're going to make this work. So no matter what, you're here and you're going to make it work. And what's the reason why you want to live here? Understand that as well. Why do you want to live here? Is it just a lifestyle change? Is it because you want to have an impact in other people's lives? Is it because you're happier over here? What is it? Is it the food that's better for you? What is it? Figure that out and let that be your motivation to keep staying in Ghana. Alright guys, so that brings me to the end of the video. I hope you guys have drawn some inspiration from this video. If you guys have any thoughts about things that people need to do to make their move to Ghana a bit more sustainable, I'd love to hear them in the comment section below. Yeah, there's a lot that I'm still figuring out. 3 years is a long time, but there's still more time to come, so I'm open and willing to learn. So make sure you give me a thumbs up guys, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to follow your bliss. So now life is short. Follow your bliss. Na nipa ye day. Follow your bliss. Na di besi biaye. And follow your bliss. Na day ne manda. Take care guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.